Hey guys, what's up? What's happening? You got the King of Games 98 here. How you doing? Hope you are doing good and staying safe. And well, I have now finally come to the end of my, I guess I'll call it anime journey with watching and experiencing Ghost in the Shell standalone complex for the first time. And unfortunately, that journey has come to an end with me watching and now reviewing Ghost in the Shell standalone complex Solid State Society. So, a few minutes ago, I just finished watching this. This is an anime movie, and this is a follow up to Ghost in the Shell standalone complex second gig. And this anime movie basically wraps up the standalone complex anime series. So, if you guys have never seen or watched Ghost in the Shell standalone complex Solid State Society and are kind of curious as to what it's about, I'm going to read to you guys the back cover of my DVD copies case to sum it up, because a lot happened in this, and there was just so much that happened in this that I couldn't really write down a brief description to summarize, so we're just going to read old back of the cover. So, the year is 2034, and the face of terrorism has changed. No longer restricted to the limits of the physical world, the war on terror has exploded onto the net. In an attempt to confront this new threat, an elite counterterrorism and anti-crime unit was formed, Public Security Section 9. 2 years have since passed when the team's commander, Major Motoko Kusanagi, resigned from her post. After a rash of mysterious suicides, Section 9 is forced to confront the Puppeteer, a dangerous hacker with unsurpassed skills. As the investigation of the terrorist threat takes them deeper into the bowels of a potential government conspiracy, Section 9 once again crosses paths with the Major. But is her sudden reappearance more than a coincidence? Or is she somehow connected to the Puppeteer? No one is above suspicion in this action-packed continuation of Ghost in the Shell standalone complex saga. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the back of the DVD case sums up this movie, and that's how I'm going to sum it up. So, as it said, 2 years have since passed since Major Motoko Kusanagi resigned. So, Solid State Society takes place 2 years after standalone complex second gig ends. So, this really is a continuation of standalone complex, more specifically second gig, and it really is a proper continuation and ending to the anime series. Now, I gotta tell you guys, when I first walked into my local Walmart and found and bought these for $15 a piece, I wasn't sure if I had overpaid and if I was going to really enjoy watching this that much. Well, I can now say without a doubt that $15 a piece for these was an amazing deal, first off. And secondly, I not enjoyed the hell out of watching these, but I am going to cherish watching these forever. And I love owning both seasons 1 and 2 of Standalone Complex on Blu-ray and having them in my anime collection. And, of course, Standalone Complex Solid State Society, the follow-up movie. So, now we are at the point of this anime review video. Oh, and there's no way this is going to be a 5-minute long review video, so don't even think I'm going to try to make it 5 minutes because it's not. So now we're at the point of this anime review video where I'm going to talk about my thoughts, feelings, and opinions about Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex Solid State Society. So, again, I know I said this before in both of my review videos of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex Seasons 1 and 2, but they still did a lot of things the same as with Seasons 1 and 2 of Standalone Complex like they did in Solid State Society. They had a great use of 2D and 3D animation. I love that. The English dub was great. I watched Solid State Society English dubbed, and it was great because they still had their original voice actors of Joshua Seth, Mona Marshall, Crispin Freeman, Wendy Lee, Mary McGlynn. You know, all them popular, well-known anime voice actors were still here in Solid State Society, which I loved. I freaking loved so much. Of course, Solid State Society had great music because it was composed by the amazing, wonderful Yoko Kanno, which I can never say enough good things about her music. Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex Solid State Society had a very unique story. And what I mean by that is, not only did I enjoy the story of Solid State Society, but it kept me on the edge of my seat, guys. It held my interest. I was never bored, and I didn't lose interest in watching this, like, say, halfway through. I was on the edge of my seat, waiting up until the end to find out who the puppeteer really was. So that's saying something. And most importantly, this was a great conclusion to the Standalone Complex series. Okay. So, I'm not going to spoil how Standalone Complex second gig ends or how Solid State Society ends, but this is all I'm going to say. The final episode of Standalone Complex second gig, I thought was good, but the ending felt like that there was more story to be told, and that they weren't quite done telling the story, if that makes any sense. So it felt like that they briefly ended it, I guess, is how I'm going to describe that. And it felt like that there was more story to be told, and I think they felt like that they still wanted to continue telling stories set in the Standalone Complex universe. So I guess that's kind of where Solid State Society comes into play here. And again, nothing against the way Standalone Complex second gig ended or anything, but Standalone Complex Solid State Society has a much better ending to the series as a whole than Standalone Complex second gig did. And again, I'm not, knocking on second gig, saying it's bad or that the ending, the final episode, sucked. I just personally think that it left more to be desired, and that's where Solid State Society comes in. And Solid State Society not only told a great, unique, interesting story, but it just did a really good job of giving the Standalone Complex series a proper ending and farewell. Okay, so now, guys, we are at the point of this anime review video where I'm going to be talking about facts about Ghost in the Shell standalone complex solid state society that I found when I looked it up online. So first and foremost, the release date of when this specific anime movie came out. So I have I have two release dates for you guys. The first is when it came out in Japan, and the second is when it came out in North America. So Solid State Society released on September 1st of 2006 in Japan, and of course we did not get it in the States or North America until 2007. So wow, that's crazy to think about the years, because think about those years for a minute with me, guys. What other animes were on and currently airing in 2006 and 2007? Well, Naruto, I guess. No, I don't know if the original Naruto series would have still been going or if Shippuden would have been on by then. So I'm not sure about that. But then, what else would have been on at that time? Probably Bleach. Yeah, I'm thinking probably Bleach would have been on around that time. I gotta imagine. I'm sure One Piece probably was because of how long that is. But yeah, so this really stood out as something different for that time, anyway. Of course, I already said that the music was composed by the legendary Yoko Kanno. The English dub was done by Bandai Entertainment, which I love seeing their logo, and I'm going to do a close-up shot, actually, just in case you don't know what that looks like. I love seeing their logo on any anime DVD cases or the VHS slipcovers. I love seeing the Bandai Entertainment logo on any animes, especially ones that I'm not familiar with, and then have the pleasure, I should say, of watching for the first time. That to me is truly something special, because I know I've gone on record saying it before, and I will keep on saying it. Bandai Entertainment made some of the coolest, greatest, and uniquest animes of the time when they were in business. So the runtime for Ghost in the Shell standalone complex Solid State Society is roughly 1 hour and 48 minutes long. I personally did not think that runtime was too long, nor did I think it was too short. I thought it was just enough to hold my attention and tell the story that it was meant to tell. And on top of that, it just did a great job with its story. It really did, guys. Like, I didn't feel like it was on too long, and I didn't feel like it overstayed its welcome. It did a really good job in that 1 hour and 48-minute time period of telling its story and getting you sucked in and involved in the story and in the universe, its world that it was trying to tell. This I thought was pretty cool and interesting. Apparently, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex Solid State Society was so popular, it got a 3D version of the movie released in 2011. That is pretty cool. So that is how well and popular this Ghost in the Shell anime movie did. That it got re-released in 2011 in 3D. That's really cool, guys. This got a novel adaptation, and because I wrote down how I read it online, and when it said novel, I think it means manga. So this got a manga adaptation titled the same, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex Solid State Society, written by Kenji Kamiyama and Yosunori Kasuga. I apologize if I butchered any of them. That was published by Kodansha Comics. And to any of my 148 subscribers that watch all of my anime review videos, or a good amount of them anyway, Kodansha Comics is a name that I've mentioned countless and numerous times before in the past in previous videos, so I'm not really too surprised that they had something to do with the manga adaptation of this movie. And most importantly, since I am the big video game nerd and collector that I am, I found this fact very interesting and had to include it in this review video. A video game for the Xbox 360's Kinect was made to promote the 3D remake of this film. I did not know that existed, guys, and I thought that was a really fun, interesting little fact that I found about this anime movie. And since I didn't know that that video game exists, something tells me it was probably only released in Japan, and because we never saw it in North America here in the US, so I can only assume it was probably only released in Japan. And that, guys, without further ado, is going to conclude my anime review video of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex Solid State Society. I can't say a single bad thing about this, guys, and so without further ado, my final rating for Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex Solid State Society is a perfect 10 out of 10. If you have never seen this, but have watched either seasons 1 or 2 of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, you really owe it to yourself to watch this. This is like the perfect conclusion to the original Standalone Complex anime series. And I have to tell you guys, I'm kind of really sad and bummed now that my little anime journey with Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex has now officially come to an end. But that doesn't mean that I won't be reviewing in, hopefully the near future, sometime soon, more Ghost in the Shell media. Off the top of my head, I know that there's the Ghost in the Shell Arise. I believe it's a movie, and it's a prequel series to the original movie from 1995, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't have that, and I have not watched that yet. So I would love to find and watch that. And then most importantly, I really hope Netflix, with their Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045 series, I hope they release that on DVD or Blu-ray, because if they do, I will totally pick that up, and you best believe I will watch and review that on my YouTube channel. So without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know down below in the comment section, did you watch Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, whether it was Season 1 or second gig? And did you see Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex Solid State Society? And if so, what did you think about it? Thank you so much for watching, guys, and take care.